In a way, the Chargers have had a tough season. They've had plenty of injuries, their defense has underperformed, and yet they are still 5-3. Why? It's because of one man. Justin Herbert has still been having a very good season, and it accumulated with his best game of the year according to Pro Football Focus grades against Atlanta. Let's talk about what he did well, starting off with this play. What's going to happen here is you see where he is, you see what the play concept is on the field, so bit to keep track of, but kind of the main way that this play can work is really kind of those over the middle routes. That's really what where you want to hit, because again, some of these underneath routes will help draw linebackers further in. You do have a deeper route that's going to push safeties further deep, so kind of over the middle, that tends to be where this stuff works against zone coverage. So Justin Herbert takes a snap, he's going to look down the field, and the route that I was talking about, that guy who's about to get over the middle, he's not open now, right? You can't make this throw now. You have to wait for the play to develop. It's developing slowly, and this is an issue, right? I mean, you don't get much time in today's NFL. You have to get rid of the football quickly, and these are the plays that Herbert is just capable of doing that other quarterbacks aren't capable of doing, and part of where his value comes in. Watch him move up in the pocket. He buys enough time to where he then can throw, still gets the completion, still makes the play work as it intended, but with just that little extra ability to navigate the pocket in a way to make sure it works out. A lesser quarterback probably, again, offensive line did a good job, have to give them credit, but a lesser quarterback might, take a sack on that play. I think a lesser quarterback might just put their head down and just try and run for as many yards as possible instead of still paying attention to potentially throwing the football deep. Herbert did exactly what you would want Herbert to do on that play. A play like this was definitely important where you have someone like Josh Palmer who, listen, no one's confusing him for Keenan Allen, right? But they don't have Keenan Allen. They don't have Mike Williams. They had to make something happen. And really, I thought that he actually stepped up and had a good game for the Chargers and really helped out Herbert because Herbert needed somebody, and I thought Palmer did a good job. So what's going to happen on this play, it's going to be a zone coverage play, and you see how this route can work, right? Kind of underneath the corner's zone who's supposed to cover deep down the field. So unless the corner then turns around and comes further in and is able to make a good play that way, then you should be able to get a little bit of separation. As you see on this play, I would actually call it good defense. I mean, right here, the corner was ready for it. He was hanging with Palmer, but Palmer is going to cut very well to where you see the corner is actually, very leaning forward towards the right side of the screen and going in that direction. And so when Palmer cuts, Herbert times the throw perfectly. You're able to, again, pick up a decent play, pick up the first down. These are the types of plays they were able to make work. Again, it was a tough situation. The numbers might not be otherworldly with Herbert, but trust me, the tape was very good. Something like this was actually very fascinating. It felt like Herbert just understood the assignment. Herbert understood where his team is at right now. He understood that he's probably going to have to cheat a little bit to help out his receiving core. That is just not what you want it to be. It's not what it is when it's healthy. Something like this, it's a man coverage play. You have a receiver running a route that, again, it can get open. This is not it's a one-on-one matchup, so you are banking on one of your teammates to win this one-on-one matchup, but it's a matchup that can work and can allow you to get open. Right when this play begins, you see that it's hard to tell exactly. Is it about to get open? It looks like it's okay. It looks like there's a chance that it's open. I think that for Herbert, someone who has a cannon of an arm like he does, I think a lot of times that he would look at this, say, okay, Gerald Everett, that's the guy who I have circled, he's in position where he could potentially get open. Let me just give it an extra beat, see if it's open. I have the arm strength to get it there in time if he does get open. But in this situation, he might think that way if it's Mike Williams or Keenan Allen, but with someone like Everett, he just knows the windows aren't going to be as big, so he has to cheat a little bit. You see him right now, he's in the throwing motion. He's ready to throw this football. Because of that, he times it perfectly to where it's as open as it possibly could be. It ended up being a good route anyway, so he maybe didn't have to do that, but it's noticed he was kind of making the throws a little bit earlier than I feel like he typically does because of the situation that he is currently in. Now let's go over to this play. This is another just really good example of him just making the correct play and getting it done quickly. So it's actually a zone coverage play. It doesn't look like it. It's a pretty clever disguise by Atlanta to make it not clear exactly what they're doing, but they are going to drop back into sort of a cover 3 zone. Herbert takes a snap, reads this play quickly, and looks over and says, okay, well, there we go. That's the guy I should hit. I have to get this throw there quickly, though. If I can get this throw quickly enough, then I can be able to get a completion. The Falcons are trying to get over there. This is definitely this is a Herbert play. If this play works, it's going to be because of Herbert. If this play doesn't work, it's going to be because Herbert wasn't able to get it to DeAndre Carter. That's the receiver I've circled in yellow, quickly enough. Herbert gets it perfectly to Carter. Both the Falcons players tried to disrupt that play and missed it, allowing for a bigger completion right there. So again, it's just these plays that are working out well for the Los Angeles Chargers, and that's just another example of it. And finally, going over here, this was the essential game winner. Again, Herbert had to do a couple of game-winning drives in this one to finally get the official game-winning drive, but this is going to be one of them, where the way this play works, it's going to be a man coverage play, and you see the route on the screen that Herbert wants to hit. Again, it's a good route against this type of coverage. It's, once again, this is going to be Gerald Everett right here, so that's where you're looking at, and watch what happens. Herbert's going to take the snap. You are going to see Everett, again, fakes left, eventually gets to the right. It's a good route. He's open. This worked out well, but Herbert picked the right pre-snap read, and sometimes that's easier said than done. I think that, pre-snap reads can be difficult. You have to look at the situation ahead of time and say, you know what, I think this guy is my best read, because for all we know, there could have been a linebacker or someone dropping over the middle, but Herbert felt like that wasn't the case and made sure that once he saw it wasn't the case, okay, that's my best spot. And so when someone is open, because really there's one guy open on this play, but Herbert is looking at the one guy who is getting open. Again, Herbert makes the throw. They're able to get inside field goal range right there. Good stuff there from Herbert. Good stuff from Everett. So again, it's not like there was no help whatsoever, but there wasn't a ton of help. And I thought Herbert definitely... to me, Herbert was the main reason the Chargers won this football game. He is their MVP. He is their most valuable player. I know he's gotten some criticism this season. To me, I think that the real criticisms of the Chargers have been the lack of receiving core help, largely due to injuries. I think that's been the big thing. They need to get healthy, and until they get healthy, I don't think their offense is going to look incredible. But you know what? If they can just hang around, right? If they can just be a solid team who hangs around, you will eventually get opportunities to make some noise. You will eventually get these opportunities in the postseason if you get there and get healthy. That's not a team I would want to play in the playoffs. Again, yes, there have been some issues, but at the end of the day, there's few things more valuable than a star quarterback, and I still do feel like Herbert is a star. I'm not saying that he hasn't had a down season by his standards. I think he has. I think he has had a down season from his standards, but I think most quarterbacks would, given the situation that he's been put in. And I thought he was great against Atlanta. I thought that they don't win against Atlanta if it's Chase Daniel there instead. I feel pretty confident about that. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.